elections, and you're 53, I'm 51. We're both about the same age. We've seen the country in really rough times. We've seen the country come back from rough times and have a resurgence of liberty, and I believe we're going to see that again. Your first question, how do we have real conservatives and strong conservatives? I think that's incredibly important, and I'll tell you that there's no substitute for doing the hard work and research to look to the candidates, look to their records. I can tell you, most senators stay out of primaries. Most senators don't get involved in Republican primaries. I get involved in primaries all over the country. I get involved in primaries in Texas, and I get involved in primaries all over the country. And I'm looking for, in every primary, my test is simple. I want to support the strongest conservative who can win. And I look to records. I look to when have they stood and fought, when have they defended the Constitution, when have they defended freedom, when have they defended conservative principles, and when have they paid a price, when have they been pounded and punished, and when do they bear the stripes. Those are the candidates I support. I think that's incredibly important. One of the reasons why, so for the folks on this call, if you're thinking, okay, I want to do something to support this election, but I don't know, where do I give? Do I give here? Do I give to the RNC? Do I give to a state party? Look, part of the reason why I spend so much time campaigning and raising money is because I try to focus, Kevin, on the question you just said. Who are the strongest conservative leaders who will stand and fight and lead? Because I'm tired of Republicans that don't stand for anything. And I think the way we ensure conservatives and we get involved in the process and we support people who actually, once we have a majority, will do something with it, will stand and fight. Your second question about young people, you are touching on something that is near and dear to my heart. And I can tell you, you are right. The left is proselytizing. They are trying to brainwash the youth. Mm-hmm. The left has taken over much of the educational system, both K through 12 and universities, and they're trying to pack them full of lies. Definitely. Here's the good news, which is I think young people are smarter than the left thinks they are. And I got to tell you, I spend a lot of time talking to young people. I launched 2.5 years ago a podcast called Verdict with Ted Cruz, and that podcast, within weeks of it being launched, it became the #1 ranked podcast in the world. We've had over 40 million downloads, and we have millions of young people who are listening to the podcast. We've gone on a college tour where we've gone to multiple college campuses, from University of Wisconsin and Madison to Texas A&M, to Catholic University, to University of Alabama, to Yale University. And we're seeing over and over again hundreds and hundreds of college kids that are hungry for the truth, that are hungry for a defense of liberty. As the left are a bunch of puritanical, nanny state, totalitarian nitwits, it is one heck of an opportunity to tell young people, wouldn't it be better to be free, to think for yourself, to believe for yourself, to have your own religious faith, to have your right to keep and bear arms, to have your control over your profession, to have your control over your education. I think freedom is a powerful message with young people. And the answer to both of your questions, how do we elect conservatives, how do we connect with young people, is we get involved. Everyone in this call has been engaged in the grassroots, and you support the efforts we're trying to do between now and Election Day. You want to reach young people? Instead of giving $50 tonight, give $100. Instead of giving $100 tonight, give $200. Give whatever you can, because every dollar you give, I give you my word, will be used to elect conservatives, to win control of the Senate, to win control of the House, to connect with young people, and to pull this country back from the brink.